Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Rob R posting this. Once this cycle ends, a reset is coming. Remember that, guys. Stocks currently hitting trillions of dollars in market cap. Gold is going parabolic. Billionaires having $300 to $500 billion in net worth. Indexes at high records, or record highs rather. People unable to afford housing or children. This is not going to last. So remember that. The markets are rallying, okay? This is the S&P 500. And that is on the daily. As you guys can see, the S&P 500 is at a new all-time high, or at least it did close at an all-time high yesterday. You'll also notice that with Russell 2000, we're getting up to that all-time high, and we're waiting for that to break out. And the same is true for other indices as well. The NASDAQ, although we have seen a bit of a cool down, NASDAQ is also very close to its all-time high. The NYSE Composite Index as well is looking at new highs too. So the NASDAQ really the only one right now that we're seeing a downturn. It is very tech focused, so there's a reason for that. But as Rob does say here, you know, all these markets are going parabolic, not to mention the gold market. Let's just take a look at gold right now. Obviously, gold is seeing new highs too. We did recently reach a new high for gold at $38.95 per ounce. So that is in US dollars. And gold is retracing a little bit, but guys, this is, you know, the same across the board. And as Rob does say, this doesn't last. These are cycles. Make sure you are prepared since you're holding crypto. Chances are, if you guys are watching this video, I'm letting my Patreon subscribers see exactly what I'm doing for this crypto bull run. I'm keeping my portfolio completely transparent. And over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel, you'll see exactly where my head is at. So if you guys are interested in joining, it is only $5 a month, but you got to subscribe and stay subscribed to link in to that price point. Wanted to thank Rob Art for posting that. Well, we are seeing treasury companies also securing additional funds, additional XRP in this particular case. This one courtesy of XRP Crypto Wolf. Remember Vivo Power, guys? They originally announced a few months ago that they were going to add XRP to their treasury. Well, guys, they've issued new shares in order to raise a total of $19 million. Notably, the publicly traded firm is raising the aforementioned sum at $6.05 per share, which is higher than the current market price. This shows that there is significant demand. So clearly there's demand for this, and well, they're adding more. The newly raised sum provides the company with additional liquidity for future XRP purchases, and they're gaining more exposure. The company previously announced another share offering under Regulation S, meaning that the funds would come from non-U.S. investors. In this case, $121 million came from a private placement from a Saudi prince. After adopting the Ripple-linked token as its core asset, Vivo Power then partnered with the XRPL-based yield-generating protocol Doppler Finance to deploy an initial $30 million of XRP. So it's looking as though they have a plan here for their XRP. And, you know, now that we have more yield services available, a lot of these companies can, in fact, lock their XRP up and earn yield on demand. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. Wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf for posting that. Guys, we also have this news here. Crypto prices can move at the flip of a switch thanks to 24/7 trading. So this was just announced from the CME Group. This one courtesy of Smoke here. CME Group to launch 24/7 crypto derivatives trading in 2026. So a brand new announcement here. The Chicago Mercantile Exchange Group is preparing to flip the switch on a new era of crypto derivatives. Starting in early 2026, the world's largest derivatives marketplace is expected to offer 24/7 trading for cryptocurrency futures and options. This move isn't just a minor update. Right now, CME pauses trading during weekends, holidays, and off hours. Removing those limits would align the platform more closely with the crypto market itself, a market that doesn't sleep. Traders who have long dealt with gaps between CME's schedule and crypto's constant volatility may soon find themselves with the tools to hedge and react at any time. I mean, the crypto markets are open 24/7. Why would you not have an option to be able to trade 24/7? Down here, it just talks a little bit about the popularity too. Obviously, they see a need for it. So for a market where seconds can make the difference between profit and loss, having futures and options open nonstop could change how risk management is handled at scale. And so it's looking as though that is going to be rolling out, as they say, in early 2026. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe that will help get the market up. We're going to see more liquidity entering the space from many different angles. Phil Kwok here did just recently make an appearance on NASDAQ TV. Not enough people are talking about Ripple and RLUSD and the XRP ledger in the media. He says, so I did. Listen to this.
So Phil, let me follow up to that for a moment here. What are some of the key advantages of using stable coins over traditional fiat or other types of crypto?
That's a great question. Number one is this cheapness with which you can transfer. So, for example, if you transfer a stable coin like RLUSD, which is issued by Ripple, then on the XRP ledger, you can transfer that for literally fractions of a cent, super fast and super cheap as well. When we look at the cost of a wire transfer, I'll give you an example. We recently ran a prize competition for our community, and some of the prizes were very, very small, just as guaranteed prizes. We sent $10 to one participant. It actually cost her $5 to receive it because that was the price. It was a $15 wire transfer. So she actually lost $5 because we sent her 10. So absolutely insane. And that's just one example of how stablecoins are making it a lot faster and a lot cheaper to receive and send payments.
Why would you even accept a payment for $10 if you're going to lose 5? This is the problem with the system today. Obviously, Ripple has identified the problem, and even with XRP, they were solving that problem. But since stablecoins are becoming the the go-to, I think in everyday life, governments, banks, they're on board with the idea of the stablecoin. So what Ripple did is they pivoted and they created the RLUSD to play ball. Now, guys, this is just one step, and when we look at the broader picture, we are seeing how this is going to influence traditional finance. Now, Ondo just posted this, okay, and if you think of the kinds of companies that are going to be running on the XRP ledger that are going to be tokenized through Ondo Finance, I guess I should say first, Ondo Finance back in June, they did bring tokenized treasuries to the XRP ledger with seamless mint and redeem via Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin. So we're going to see a lot more companies, I think, start to transfer value using blockchain, and these companies are working with Ondo Finance. And guys, these are some big companies here. I know maybe you don't recognize every single one of these logos, but I know just off the top, we got Spotify here, we got iShares, obviously Amazon, we got Reddit, Airbnb, and if I'm missing some of them, put it down in the comments. We got Shopify, of course, Starbucks, we got Netflix, we got Tesla a couple of times there, which is kind of strange. S&P, Toyota, Coca-Cola, Costco, McDonald's, Wells Fargo, we got Cisco, American Express, we got Walmart, Visa, Google, Coinbase, Intel, of course, General Electric's Visa, IBM, PayPal, Invesco, P&G. So we're getting into different types of industries too. We got Chili's, Nike, we've got all kinds, BlackRock, we got Microsoft, MasterCard, Apple, Disney, Sony, Uber, and so many others here that I'm not naming. So if you think about it and you think about where tokenization is going, and the fact that Ondo is committed to leveraging the XRP ledger, guys, leveraging the RLUSD. Remember, the RLUSD is going to be for institutional grade transfers, and guys like Phil Kwok are promoting this on NASDAQ TV. So great news there. On top of that, this law just came out, or at least I don't know if it's actually confirmed yet, but they're thinking about this. The Wrath Economist posting this. Okay, so he's saying here it's not law, but the European Systemic Risk Board is warning against stablecoins issued outside of the EU. So EU Risk Watchdog calls for urgent safeguards on stablecoins. If the coins are not issued in the European Union, what the watchdog is saying is for institutions to take note. Okay, the European Union's financial risk watchdog called on Thursday for urgent safeguards on stablecoins only partially issued in the bloc, echoing a warning from the European Central Bank, which is worried that their failure could induce a run on reserves. Stablecoins are the type of cryptocurrency designed, obviously, to hold a steady value pegged to fiat. The EU has put in place one of the world's strictest regimes on crypto assets, but policymakers worry that issuers originating from outside the bloc enjoy easier regulation and could import financial risk. So I guess like USDT, perhaps. And here's a quote, guys. The General Board stressed that third country multi-issue schemes with fungible stablecoins issued both in the EU and outside have built-in vulnerabilities which require an urgent policy response. So that was the statement from ECB President Christine Lagarde. EU rules require stablecoins to be fully backed by reserves, Lagarde says. And I guess since there's no travel jurisdiction, right, between the world, I mean, you can send any kind of stablecoin anywhere to anybody on planet Earth so long as you have their address. This could, in fact, cause vulnerabilities. Now, the interesting thing here that the Wrath Economist does notice, it's not good for stablecoin. So it would definitely favor some more, I guess, regulatory issues when it comes to stablecoins. But you know what it is good for? It would be good for XRP being that neutral asset. Of course, if XRP is a neutral asset, it can bridge anything. So if you want to convert something that isn't regulated, like let's say USDT, to something that is regulated, like let's say RLUSD, you can convert the USDT tether to RLUSD. And that can happen within seconds on the XRP ledger. You know, just going back to this idea of minting everything, tokenizing everything, you got to think all these companies are going to be tokenizing on the XRP ledger, and they have money backing a multi-million dollar, if not billion-dollar companies here, going to be transferring value all over the XRP ledger. And you know, the jurisdiction might not be a problem if they can do that using XRP. The other important thing is privacy. Now, Ripple did just come out. This is the Ripple X account. They just came out with this article from just yesterday: privacy, scale, and the future of blockchain finance. So privacy is back at the center of the discussion as blockchain enters its next chapter, one defined by institutional adoption and real-world impact. The question is no longer if financial systems will move on-chain, but how. Institutions need infrastructure that is scalable, compliant, and trustworthy without losing sight of the decentralization and neutrality that make public blockchains valuable in the first place. But at the heart of this transformation lies a paradox. Finance cannot function without confidentiality, yet blockchains are built on transparency. So how are they going to do it? There's a misconception that privacy in blockchain is synonymous with secrecy for bad actors. In reality, though, privacy is about giving honest participants control over what is revealed to whom and under what circumstances. So that is a good way to look at it. In traditional finance, nobody would dare log into their bank without securing their HTTPS. On blockchains, many still transact without the same baseline protections. So making sure that privacy is available for users of the XRP ledger or other blockchains is paramount, right? Cryptography gives a better way. Programmable privacy through techniques like zero knowledge proofs or ZKPs lets institutions transact confidentially while still meeting regulatory requirements. The balance is essential too. Without privacy, financial institutions cannot safely use public ledgers for core workflows. Without accountability, regulators cannot sign off. And with programmability, privacy, we can have both. And guys, there is now an option for that. Scaling without sacrificing trust. So just reading over some of these concepts here: fair ordering, confidential computation, select disclosures, cross-chain bridge security. And I will link this in the description of the video if you guys are interested in reading further. But guys, look at this. The road ahead. Over the next 12 months, I am focused on helping to make the XRP ledger the first choice for institutions seeking innovation and trust. Zero knowledge proof will play a central role, enabling private, compliant transactions while improving scalability. In 2026, confidential MPTs will bring privacy-preserving tokenized collateral to the market, an essential step for institutional adoption of tokenized real-world assets and DeFi. So MPTs are going to be key in 2026 and beyond for that institutional adoption to occur. And guys, they're already saying it here. Institutional adoption going to start occurring probably on a small scale, but then it's going to build up. So don't be fooled, guys, if you think XRP is going to go to extremely high prices in the next few weeks. Follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel if you want to see where my targets are or where my head is at when it comes to cashing out of my crypto, including my XRP and other cryptocurrencies. But will this eventually get XRP up to, extremely high prices? I do think so. Even Chad Steingraber here says, this is where it gets interesting because the road to a $20,000 XRP involves privacy. Now, he posted this back in August of 2022. They've been very clear and honest with us. XRP was never meant for public retail trading. We were the pitchers in warm-up practice before the game begins. Are you ready for the big leagues? And now Chad deciding to retweet out this article. Of course, privacy is where everybody's going to jump on board, and these MPTs are really what's going to spur on institutional adoption with tokenized real-world assets and DeFi. He finalizes by saying, "My philosophy is simple. The future of blockchain belongs to builders who remove unnecessary trust. If we can prove correctness, prevent misuse, and give users confidence that their assets and data are safe, then blockchain tech won't just scale, it will transform. finance. So guys, this is the overall look for the long term. When we see an XRP price right now trading for about $3.04, we are still trading in a spec market, and that's okay. We can still make profits in a spec market. Check out the Patreon if you guys are interested in seeing how I'm treating this crypto cycle. Also, for those of you guys interested in merchandise, you can check out the Working Money Channel merch store where I've got all kinds of merchandise available. Link is in the description of the video. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.